Hey guys, it's Kip with DT4EMS. We're finishing up an instructor class here in Johnston County, North Carolina. And these two gentlemen had said a couple of neat things to me, either during the program or right here as it ended. And I was asking if they would care to share it with you. And they said they would, so that tickles me. First of all, Dale, it's been like 4 years.
4 years.
For us to get this here. And now that we got it, finally, and you got to see the whole program in its entirety and stuff like that and saw how your people responded to it, what do you think?
I have to wonder where this has been. I've been in EMS almost 42 years, and I have to wonder where it's been that whole time. You know, to me, this is just as important as learning to apply a splint, reading ECGs, starting IVs, giving drugs is just as important. Over those almost 42 years, I've been involved in situations where, you know, the crews were threatened, actually assaulted. I've been on the receiving end of a couple of those myself, and we were never taught how to respond to it. It's just kind of, well, do what you got to do. And as we talk in the class, that's probably not the best advice to give anybody.
Pretty dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Open-ended advice.
Yeah, and then you've got the situation where when it does happen, you know, in a couple of situations, like, you know, we wanted to press charges, and everybody said, no, you know, we don't need to do that because it may look bad, so we don't want to do that. Hadn't happened in the last few years, but still the possibility is there. And to me, this training is something that should be mandatory for all EMS folks, volunteer, part-time, full-time, EMTs, paramedics, everybody.
So would you say then that the content is not only, you know, relatable, but then it is mission specific? It's stuff that's, we're not trying to take something from the outside and use a square tool into a round problem. We're actually trying to give them something that makes sense for the provider.
The biggest thing to me is it's relevant. It's relevant to what we do, our environment. It's relevant.
Because a lot of times people are confused and think that we're teaching people how to fight, how to beat someone up, how to act like a, you know, take custody. But really, that isn't at all what we're doing, is it?
It's teaching you how to get out of a bad situation.
Or prevent it, even from the beginning, right?
Prevent it.
So,
you know, hopefully prevent it, but if for some reason you can't prevent it, it's how to get out of it safely.
There you go. And which actually brings me to another point, and we'll talk to Brad about it, but because Brad said something, and this kind of actually segues into the same thing, where did you witness an example, and a lot of people have heard me say across the country, and I do it at every conference or whatever, and I'll have a room full of people, and I'll say, ask them about how many people have been assaulted on the job. Once we give them the true definition of what a criminal assault is, not the grandma who scratched you, but the person who was either high or drunk and tried to hurt our people, and they told them they were going to hurt them, and they tried to hurt them. So I said, if that's ever happened to you on the job in medicine, raise your hand. And we get a certain amount that's usually between 80 and 100%. And then the next question I ask is, well, if you press charges, leave your hands up, and then we usually only see 2 to 3% actually ever told anybody about it, press charges, or anything. So therefore, that proves that every study out there is wrong. But I try to show everyone, look, this is what the people are really saying, but we can't always get them to listen because they go, well, our study said only 30%. Well, you haven't defined what is a criminal assault. So did you notice anything in the class with that particular group of questions with how people answered or they responded, or was there anything with that made you kind of go, holy cow, I had no idea?
Yeah, and these folks come from all walks of life. They've worked in different agencies. They've got anywhere from 1 year of experience to 20 plus years of experience. And when you ask the question, it was all but one had raised their hand, and that person was brand new. So when you look at the studies like you were talking about, where it's saying half to 75% are assaulted, the numbers is nowhere near
the truth, is it?
Because these people aren't saying anything, and it's the culture of EMS, because we're told that we may and probably are going to get hurt on the job, we're going to get assaulted. Well, it's the culture needs to change. And that was the biggest shock to me when they raised their hands, and the majority of them, all but one, 99 to 98%, even in the second class that I was able to
So twice, not just once, but twice you saw it in your facility.
Twice it happened, and it was a shock to me. Like, well, who told you this? How long has this been going on?
Those are the wake-up calls that once we get administration and trainers to see, because first of all, like you just said, it's culture. People think it's part of the job, I'm not supposed to talk about it, I get ridiculed if I bring it up. But would you not agree now, especially since you got to watch it and see how it kind of flip-flopped? Because the first time you go through, you're kind of seeing the program as we're delivering it to you. But then what did you see as the next group of employees came in? Did you notice that sometimes there's a little bit of a confusion, maybe even a resistance, but then within just a little bit, once we started chipping away at the lie they face, did they begin to change? I mean, they start, not only do they participate in everything, but then they're talking about stuff, and then their brain is always working. Did you notice anything like that? Did you see them go from hesitant and backing away to being completely involved and engaging, going, oh my God, this makes sense type of mentality? Is that what you saw?
Yes, sir. And at the end of day one, it started really sinking in, and right in the middle of day two, the light bulb come on for everybody. And it was amazing. I felt like we did something great for these people. We've told them we're changing the culture, and I hope that's what everybody can do, is finally change the culture of EMS in general. Not us, but worldwide. Everybody needs to recognize that, you know, we're being attacked, and it's not okay. Let somebody know.
Not just us teaching it and go, hey, this really works, they go, okay, and never employ it. Same with these guys being instructors.